Hello and welcome to a series I'm calling The Best Games You Probably Never Heard of. Today I'm covering Aliens Dark Descent, published by Tindalos Interactive and Focus Entertainment. Tindalos Interactive, if I'm pronouncing that right, is a small studio out of Paris, and Focus Entertainment has just recently stepped into the limelight with their recent success with games like Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, Boltgun, and their A Plague Tale series. If you are a fan of the outstanding 1986 film Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, then you may particularly enjoy Dark Descent. This game takes a lot of inspiration from the movie and uses several references and small Easter eggs from the film. Aliens Dark Descent is a very unique RTS, or real-time strategy game, which takes place in the expansive Aliens universe. It is not, however, an RTS similar to that of StarCraft or Age of Empires, and nor is it one like XCOM or Rogue Trader. Instead, Aliens Dark Descent has its own original take on the typical RTS gameplay. You will be in control of a small squad of Colonial Marines, where you will move them across the map and interact with your environment. There are no breaks in this gameplay, as the game does not pause, and you will need to focus to keep your squad out of enemy detection and to keep them alive. Aliens regularly patrol around, and the slightest noise can get their attention. This game is quite challenging if your reflexes aren't sharp, but the lower difficulties are far more forgiving than the challenging ones. There is also the option for custom difficulty before you dive into the game to make your experience a little more flexible. Despite the intense gameplay, there are ways to slow things down for a moment in the thick of firefights. You will have access to a pool of command points, which will allow your troops to perform unique abilities. Moving to this command point screen will put the game into a quick little state of slow-mo, which will give you the time you need to perform these abilities and to strategize to turn this one-sided battle into a fair fight. You follow Mako Hayes, a deputy administrator for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Her vessel, Pioneer Station, and other spacecraft are hovering around the moon of Lethe. This gets infested with aliens, and you must help her escape by going a little Event Horizon onto the other vessels around the moon. A detachment from a vessel called the USS Otago, a military ship for the Colonial Marines, responds to the distress signals from Pioneer Station and assists Mako in escaping. The Otago, however, ends up crashing on the surface of Lethe. Oh, Weyland-Yutani. Always building better worlds where there are giant acidic bugs. Mako meets up with Sergeant Jonas Harper, the acting officer for the Colonial Marines. Together you work on fortify the crash site of the Otago to use as a base, and to send troops out to rescue survivors from the planet, and, most importantly, to discover the secrets of how the aliens managed to spread across the system and reach your starships. Bad things are expected to happen through your time through the Dark Descent. Soldiers will die, opportunities will be missed, and every action taken will result in some kind of unforeseen consequence. You will encounter unique aliens, and challenging different variations, rogue synthetics, and even an alien cult. Ooh. All of these things will stress your Marines out. Each time they go into combat, their stress levels will rise. There are 3 thresholds of stress. Breaching one of them will result in worse and worse performance from your soldiers. To make things worse, each time you fight the aliens, your threat meter will increase. Each tier of that threat meter will make aliens come out in greater and greater numbers, become more aggressive, send out more unique aliens, and make their patrols far more frequent. Thankfully, you are able to secure and fortify rooms during your mission. This will allow your squad to rest and catch their breath, lowering their stress levels and even possibly healing some of their wounds or finding additional ammo. Simply send out a Marine to weld up a door once you get the little icon up at the top of the screen to do so, and you will be able to get the rest function. But, fair warning, this does cost resources, such as tools that you can find throughout the map, to do. You will need to keep a close eye on all of the different resources you have available, such as ammunition, your command points, your tools, and your medkits. Your soldiers can also gain some PTSD. These traumas come after each mission and will become more and more intense if soldiers go MIA or are killed, or if they come too stressed out. The trauma will give your men additional negative traits, but can be worked out once you move far enough in the campaign to get the therapy ward up and running inside the medical ward. Your trusty APC will be around to move across the map during some of the missions as well. It has great fire support and can carry your troops safely from one side of the map to the other without worrying about getting detected by the aliens. You are always able to move your men into the APC and leave the current mission to rest up and recover their wounds. You will always be able to return to your active mission right where you left off with a fresh squad. Doing this will actually reset your threat meter as well. You are also able to extract survivors that you find into your APC so they don't have to follow your troops around and risk getting killed. Aliens Dark Descent is a very uniquely played game that I regularly find myself returning to. The main appeal to the game is the gameplay, which has been a very refreshing take on the RTS genre. It is, however, not for everybody. Its unique gameplay is pretty intense and requires focus all the time. So whether you are an Alien fan or just looking for a new and great experience, I recommend you look up gameplay videos to see if it is right for you before you make your purchase. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.